Back now, in this tutorial we're going to be talking about something very exciting, which is the nested if function. Now you may ask, what is the nested if function? Now this you can actually basically combine two or more functions together in an if function to be able to actualize a goal. Now in this case we've got different ages and we want to be able to group these ages to between 18 to 29. We want to categorize them as young adults, 30 to 65 as adults, 65 over 65 as seniors, and also less than 18 years old, want to categorize them as minors. Now you use the nested if function to be able to do that. Now in this tutorial, I'm going to be making use of two different functions. We're going to use the if function and also the and function to be able to actualize this. Now let's get started. Remember, for you to begin any function, you have to always start with an equal sign. Now I'm going to start first with my if function. I'm going to open the bracket and then put in my and function. Remember I said, in nested if, you can combine two or more functions together. Now, I'm going to start with my first logic. Now, the first logic, remember, is built to categorize between 18 years to about 29 years old, right? So I'm going to select A2 and I'm going to say if A2 is greater, that's if 15 is greater or equals to 18. And then if that is so, if 15 is greater or equals to 18, I'm also going to click on this because now I have my and function who or and if 15 as well is less than let's say 30. Okay, so now that I put in my logic, now I'm going to then give in the value, the true value. So if 15 is greater or equals to 18, and also if this 15 is less than 30, I want you to categorize this as young adults. All right, so I'm going to put in the value for true, which is young adults. Remember, always whenever you're putting up a string, always put them in this double quotes. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to move into the next what do you call it, categorization as well. So the next one then will now then be to be able to bring in my if statement again. So I'm going to bring in my if statement, and I'm also going to bring in my and statement as well, or rather and function. I'm going to also select this. Now remember, the second categorization is for the adult categorization. So I'm going to say if A2 is greater than 30. All right, so if 80 is greater than 30, and also I'm going to give him my second logic because of the and as well. And if A2 as well is less than 65, so now this is my second logic. Now, if this is true, now what should it return? Now, if this is true, I want it to return as adults. Okay, so if between 30 to 65, I want to return. If it's true, I want it to return as adults. Now that I'm done with that, I'm going to give my third categorization, and which is ages over 65 years old. Now in this one, I'm not going to use the if and statement because it's just just a one. I'm just saying if anything is just over 65, just classify them as seniors. So I'm only going to use an if statement. So I'm just going to select this as well. So I'm going to say if this is equals to um if this is equals to 65. Now if this is true, now I want you to return it as seniors. All right, so if this is true, I want to return this as seniors. And then if this is false, I basically want you to return it as minus. So that would then fit in for the 0 to about 17 years old. So remember, we've got one, two, three. We've got three different tabs that are open. So we just need to close them up. So that's two and that's three. And I'm going to say enter. So you can see basically that. So let me put this minus of minus. Let me just put it as as a singular instead of a plural. So you can see basically that as minor, if I drag this down, you can see that it basically categorizes this properly. 15 years old obviously falls in under minor. Young adult falls in between the 18 to 29. So at 22, that falls in correctly. Let's check 48. 48 is correct because we said anything from over 30 to 65 is classified as an adult. So now this is a beautiful way to be able to use nested if to be able to do tasks like this. Now if you've got any questions or anything you'd like me to talk about, please do well to put that on the comment section. I'll do my best to be able to address that and create a video for you as well. Please do well to also just to encourage me to be able to like, comment, share, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Back now in this